Hello and welcome back to day 170. We're on a completely new section today, working on some quality assurance using Chai to hopefully make our lives a little bit easier, because up until now we've pretty much just been using console logs. And while that's definitely helped us in far too many scenarios, there is apparently an easier way, at least to make sure that the expected behavior is always consistent. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So, let's begin, shall we? As your programs become more complex, you need to test them often to make sure any new code you add doesn't break the program's original functionality. Chai is a JavaScript testing library that helps you check that your program still behaves the way you expect it to after you make changes. Using Chai, you can write tests that describe your program's requirements and see if your program meets them. Working on these challenges will involve you writing your code on Glitch on our starter project. After completing each challenge, you can copy your public Glitch URL to the homepage of your app into the challenge screen to test it. Optionally, you may choose to write your project on another platform, but it must be publicly visible for our testing, which is obviously what we'll do again. So we can clone the repository. I think we're just gonna do what we did yesterday, because trying to get it to work through Glitch just for some reason doesn't work. Like, Glitch just seems to be glitching out. Okay, so I'm just going to download this as a zip, and we're just going to initialize locally. So we're on quality assurance and testing with Chai. Cool, so let me save that. Alright, that should be everything. Let's go ahead and close these folders. We're not going to need them anymore. Go ahead and add a folder. We're going to add the Chai folder. There we go. And then we can obviously close the rest of these things that we're no longer using. And let's see what's in our package.json. We need to install Express, body parser, marker chai, chai HTTP, zombie, and course, as well as node. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do node 10 like we used to. And we're just gonna manually install these. So we're gonna have no dependencies whatsoever. And we're just gonna manually chuck them in. So npm install express, because they still on like version 5 alpha. When there's I'm not even sure what was going on there. And let's do body parser. I'm sure there's a new version, 1.15.2, 1.19 here. npm install mocha. And then this is done, we're gonna install chai. Chai, there we go. And then npm install chai http. npm install zombie. I want to actually check what these packages are, because that's a really interesting package name, zombie. Because yeah, a lot has changed. They were using version 3.1 of Mocha, but we're on 6.2 now. Like, that's a massive jump. And Chai was from 3.5 to 4.2, so yeah, definitely don't want to miss out on things. And then of course. Now let's go look at what zombie is. I'd love to know what zombie is. I also want to know what chai HTTP is. And as well as Mocha, because we're working on chai, but what is Mocha? So what's zombie? That's a headless full stack testing. Okay. So a headless browser? Wouldn't that be something like Electron? No. So you create a new browser, whoa. Right, so Mocha and chai, what's the difference? Okay, so if Mocha is the test framework, what is chai? Well, that's a library? Does it work on top of it? Okay, so that's the assertion library, and that's a framework. Okay. I see. Okay, that makes sense. And then chai HTTP? Those are basically for testing APIs and stuff. Cool. And then we already know what zombie is. Okay, cool, that makes sense. I think we have everything. That's all we need so far. Actually, want to look at the previous one that we had. Let's get rid of this, shall we? And let's just call it Chai Challenges. Or just FCC Chai Challenges, where we already know it's... A lot of free code cams quality assurance section. It's a bit better, I guess. So now I haven't been doing it with the other ones. Repository, we don't have one now. There's no hyperdep, so Node Express is fine. And I just want to move this up to here. Cool. Now that we have everything we need, we should be good to begin. Let me just bring this config over. And the main file that we run is actually, is it server? I think it'll be server. For once it's going to be server. Yeah, it is. Cool. So server.js. And let's get this running on our localhost. Cool. Should be online right now. There we go. Okay, so what's the first thing we need to do now that we actually have our server up and running? Use assert.isNull or assert is not null to make the tests pass. Okay, I assume this is all going to be in server. Assertion analyzer, is that where they want me to use it? Test runner, maybe? They didn't really specify where we need to start. Use assert that is null or assert is not null to make the tests pass. Okay, but where? What file? Could they be in the tests? Unit tests? Possibly. It's probably in unit tests. But they should honestly have specified this. Okay, it's probably here. Use assert is null or assert is not null to make the test pass. So, do you just want me to literally use an if statement or something? I would assume that's what they need. So if we need to look at how chai works, because they literally haven't explained anything. Or do they literally want us to just copy paste this? Let's Google. Google is our friend. So what are we looking for? Is no. I'm gonna assume I understand, because we've never worked with this library. Wow, this is probably like one of the roughest things that they've done. You don't know which file you need to check. And then on top of that, you're not even given a description of how it works. Literally just use assert is null. Okay. So just assert that is null. Just literally? Is that what you want? Okay. I think we need more examples of how that works. I like these names, jeez. So assert.fail, throw a failure, is okay. Asserts that objects is truthy, is not okay. Is null, is not null. Wait, so is that automatically taken care of and all we have to do is pass in The two. So just change them. Make all tests pass. Don't scramble the assertions. We rely on the order to check the results. Basic assertions. Assert that fail will always fail. Change it to something more useful. So is no. And I assume they want me to take fail out and do assert dot is not no. Something like that, perhaps? Do you like that? Yeah, you like that. I actually want to see what it's doing in the background. So it's a GET request. Ghost word, hey! Back at coding, yeah. It would be embarrassing to specify how long I toyed with that game of life after your last stream. No worries, I spent a ridiculous amount of time on stream going through it, so it's all good. It is very interesting and fascinating. How am I tonight? I'm doing good. I'm trying to wrap my head around, one, the vague description that FreeCodeCamp gives you on basically testing with Chai. I mean, we've never done anything even remotely close to it, and it's basically, they don't tell you what file to look in, first of all. So I eventually found that it's in unit test, which is inside a test folder, even though there's like a myriad of other, files and folders. So I had to kind of just find that. And then two, they don't even explain what you're doing. They're just like, use assert that is no, or assert is not no, to make the test pass. So I'm just like, okay, but no explanation. It would kind of be cool to know, what they do and why I'm doing it. It feels like it's just gone so downhill. Like 80% of the course is so good, and then you get to the last bits, and it's almost like they needed something there, because it's like barely explanatory. And there'll be, answers like, no, but by that point you should be able to Google and check things out yourself. But I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of coming to, a singular place that has all the information. At least that's what you've had up until this point. But, we pull up Chai, which obviously doesn't really help either, because it's the first time we're looking at it. So it's like, what? How does that work? Does it just automatically know if a value is null? It will use the right assertion, and you just tell it is? Like, I assume it's got something to do with the order of this. Is null, so then you assert it. Is not null, you assert that. No idea what I'm doing, but hopefully it'll make sense later on. All I know is that I passed the test now. Yay? Yeah. But testing is always something that I've wanted to look at with the framework, so we'll get this. I'm afraid I have less idea than you. It's all good. Up until now, I've basically relied on console logs. It's been my go-to, console log everything. So we're at least a bit more advanced now. But yeah, let's move on. Let's see, maybe they explain things better as time goes on. Test if a variable or function is defined. Use assert is defined or assert is undefined to make the test pass. All tests should pass. Choose the right assertion. Assertion. It's like there's no explanation. It's like the bare minimum. And we can find is defined here. Asserts that value is not undefined. So you're basically telling it based on the function. Wait, so chai is the library, but the framework is Mocha? So maybe we should look at Mocha first and get a like basic understanding, which they haven't given us. We're using the JavaScript API. They don't even tell us anything. They're just like, install this, install that, cool. Like, I have no idea which one we're even using. Are we using JavaScript API? Mocha examples? Express. We're using Express. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's just files here. Wow. Okay. It's overwhelming. The last time I tested with chai, I burned my tongue. I can't imagine pouring that into the computer, right? It's fine. Get us a nice cup of mocha without Java. Throw some chai in for those that don't appreciate the darker side of life. Okay, let's maybe leave the framework. Come back to the library. This one seems a little bit more simple in comparison. Let's look at the introduction, huh? Assertion styles, plugins, and tools. The assert API, that's what we use. Check out the style guide. No, we don't need a style guide. Wait, maybe we can look at the examples to better understand what it's doing. Assert require chai.assert. Foo equal to bar. Beverages tea, chai, matcha, oolong. Okay. Assert type of foo string. Okay, so you're basically specifying that foo is a string without an optional message. Assert type of foo string. Foo is a string with optional message. Okay. Assert equal foo bar. So foo is equal to bar. And that's the message. Okay. So assert then what you're trying to specify, the variable that you're targeting, and what it should be or should do, if I understand this correctly. Assert length of foo 3. So you're basically saying, okay, foo's length is 3. So you're not actually defining variables. This is purely for the tests. Huh. Sometimes I take things too literally. I guess that's why the Wireshark test went. This is why we're having outages now. Okay, so we're using the assert option. Okay, so I understand that. The part I don't understand is when it's in a function. I don't think we're going to find it in the definitions here. What's the online test suite? Oh geez, there's a lot of things that they're testing. Yeah, there's not much. So what you been up to otherwise, Ghostwired? So where does test come from? I think test? Sweet? Where's sweet from? Where the hell's sweet and test from? Could that be from Mocha? Oh, it is Mocha! Describe a suite with the given title and callback function. Test. Describe a specification or test case with the given title and... Okay. So what are these things? The first one is a wait, so it's a title? Wait! This literally has nothing to do with anything. It's literally a string. It's the title. Just like that's called unit test and that's called basic assertions, this is literally just a title. That's all it is. It means nothing. I thought it meant something. It doesn't. So it's the title, and that's the callback function, and that's what executes in it. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay. Mocha test suits are batched underneath the describe keyword? Yeah. And test cases are batched. Yeah. Okay, so we did that one. Use assert is defined or assert is undefined. But why did it say is or? It almost makes it like optional. Use one or the other. When I tried just one, we didn't pass. Which one do you want from us? Or am I supposed to have like an if statement or something? I feel like I'm missing out on something here, possibly. Like if, but there's no value, nothing is passed in, so I can't check if value undefined, assert dot, or is that what the assert is about? Because assert is usually specifying a variable is or isn't. You know what I mean? And if we just try one, like assert dot is defined, how do you specify the value? I am defined. Okay, so we apparently need to pick one that is correct to use in that specific case. So let me just stick with the one that I've picked for now. And see what happens. Data.assertions1 is undefined. Data.assertions2 is undefined. So choose the right assertion is fine. But what about the other two? How the hell can all tests pass? And you could choose the right assertion, but you failed two others. I don't understand. Free Code Camp, what has become of you? How do you pass all the tests yet fail two? How does that work? It seems like someone forgot to have their chai set up when they were doing this very challenge. And you know, the scary thing is what it probably wants is for me to do this, where I basically duplicate. And this will probably end up working. Which doesn't make any sense at all. Well, apparently we now pass 3. All tests pass once again, except for the last one. How is that possible? Let's see what it's sending. Let's see what it's sending through the network to try and figure out what it's trying to do. So the first one that it's doing, it's getting a get unit n1. Okay, they're all the same. The last one that fails is this one, I believe. Okay, so how do we pass all except... Data.assertions2 is undefined. Yeah, apparently the order is just randomized now. It's probably the order that it wants now as well. Handle the undefined case first, then handle the defined case. But once again, without explaining anything. Apparently not. We pass all the tests. But fail. Oh my god. How did this even pass testing? Like, I would honestly love to know the solution. I would love to get a hint. Let's see what the hint is. Test if a variable or function is defined. This is a stub. Help our community expanded. Oh, I'd love to with the vast knowledge that I have on this subject. I'm definitely going to help. That's great. Well then. So we're here to learn, but it seems that we're going to have to learn elsewhere. Now we passed none of the tests. Yay! There was a timeout. Oh my god. Let's see what Stack Overflow has. Lynn, hey, how are you doing? Don't come to the testing side. It is awful, Lynn. There's literally no explanation of what you need to do. And when you ask for a hint, you get shown a page that asks you to expand it. Oh. It is so bad. Like, I'm not even joking right now. I'm at the point where I could skip all of this and complete the projects and be done with this. Like, we don't even need this. Like, if you look at the project requirements, we could do all of these. Metric imperial converter, issue tracker, personal library, stock price checker, anonymous message. I could do it right now. Like, I'm confident enough with my skills, but we were supposed to learn something. But, like, how are you supposed to learn something if they don't even teach you? Like, if I were to read a book now, there would be so much information and I would have to basically, you know, take in the information. But, like, this is all I have to take in, this page. The reminder, which has no information. The requirement, which basically doesn't tell you how, why, or any examples. The hint, which literally has no information. The tests, which basically just tell you to choose the right one. And the worst case is that I can actually do something like this, which I initially thought would, you know, be sufficient. And when I try it, apparently I pass all the tests. But I somehow fail one. So that's where I am right now. No, I don't want to assert not now. Expect my object to exist. Too bad when it does not. And the worst thing, you don't even know what to Google for because you have no idea about what you're doing. Like, you've never worked with this, never come in contact with it. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before. So we know this test is from the Mocha framework. And we know that the assert is from Chai. Normally what I'll do if I write my tests Like I create my own to check. I'll do if, you know, type of equal to a string or number or whatever, you know, and then do things like that. Whereas here, maybe I'm supposed to put it in there like that one other example. And they don't even give us an example. Not the answer, just, you know. Good job, you are done here. Wow. Those are console logs at least. So let's delete all of this and see what happens. If we click that, what is actually happening? Wait, so we passed these two. So then what is it failing us on? Imagine this is something to do with course again. Hold on. It seems my app keeps restarting itself. Ah, I see what's going on. The logs being updated is restarting it. Let's try this quickly. I'm gonna move all of this out into an app folder. We're going to move everything into the app except for package.json, obviously, and node modules and logs. I'm actually going to delete logs. There we go. Okay, I'm just making sure this is correct. So the current working directory is going to be 2 out. Oh, it's actually 1 out. So 1 back. Like that. And then it's just server, cool. Logs are just logs. Yeah, cool. Alright. That should be it. Yep. Cool, we're back up and running now. Let's make sure we're still there. Load it. Yeah, we're good. And I think this might solve one of our issues. No? Okay, well at least it's not restarting, so that's a good thing. But then it's just something else. We are in not test runners, no, we are in tests, unit tests. The other thing that I'm thinking of, we did update all the dependency packages. Maybe the versions are now causing issues. Things are done differently in a certain version. Also wonder if we needed to handle course, but I think that should be done. I don't think it's a course issue, otherwise none of this would be working in the first place. So just the way we're doing this right now. So is defined, is undefined. Is defined, is undefined. Expected undefined to equal past. Okay. It is running. Weird. I just realized something now. I just realized something. What if we're not supposed to figure out and add our own and literally just change the ones that they had? Not that it clearly specifies that. Not when you don't understand how assertions work yet. That would then make sense about their whole rambling of choose the right one. Because by that logic, if we have these three, right? What would the right one be? No, no is not undefined. So assert dot is defined. Undefined is undefined. So assert is undefined. Assert dot fail. Hello, a string is not undefined, so is defined. That should literally have just been the only change. Wow, like... And it's not choose the right, because by that logic it's like, okay, of all the assertions, and these are the assertions, use the right one. It doesn't say edit our existing ones. Nor does it give you explanation, but anyway, I feel... Yeah, there you go. That just dawned on me when I looked at it, and I was like, you know what? Why else would they have them here? What is the logic of having it there in the first place? So if anyone stumbles upon this, let's hope that you took less time than me in figuring that out. And hopefully by then they've improved this. Because literally the getter hint, they said it's a stub and we can expand it. And it takes you to a full page not found, so you can't even... Damn. You can't even help because it doesn't exist. Let's see if there's an existing, like, open issue. Curriculum, this is challenges, English, we're in information security, quality assurance and testing. There's been an update last month. Can we see all the issues? Is this all issues in general? Oh, that's a pity. I was hoping to see... Okay, let's see everything that's been added to... Let's see the status of this so far. Okay, it basically hasn't changed at all. What did this person add? Just add a forum topic ID. Okay. I think one of our projects that we're going to do is we're going to come back here and just, with the knowledge that we have, fix these things. Because at the time, trying to learn, we obviously can't fix things that we don't know how to fix. Are these for all of them? Do we get 4/4s for everyone that we're trying to get a hint on? Let's just double check. Yeah, all of them give us 4/4s. Okay. You still there, Lim? Okay, let's see what the original... Yeah, that's the main one. Done with that. Done with that. I want to get the original one and just revert it back to what it was, now that we know where the test is actually from. It was these two. Yeah, there we go. We're just going to change those around. So if it's no, if it's not no, there you go. Literally just change them around. So then the third test that we on now, testing if a variable function is defined. We've already done that, so we can complete that finally. Then use assert is okay and assert is not okay. So now that we understand how this works, even though it explains nothing about why we're doing it, how assertions work, how test cases work, how the framework works with Mocha, at least we know how to pass the tests. Change the fail ones to the right version. In this case, is okay or is not okay, and try to read what they're trying to do and figure out, is it okay or is it not okay? So null is falsy. So I would assume that's not okay. So assert dot is not okay. If the object is falsy. Okay, so is not okay or is okay. Those are just short forms for truthy or falsies. So this is okay because it's a truthy, and true is truthy, so is okay as well. There we are. And if we run this test, we should be good. Let me actually just stick that there for ease of use. Oh, it feels good to finally actually be moving forward now. Use assert dot is true or assert dot is not true to make the test pass. Is true, true, and is not true, everything else will pass. Is false and is not false also exist. Okay, so let's figure out what they want us to do. True, true is true. So assert is true. Double negation. Double negation. Even though we have no idea how the process works, at least we know how to pass a test. Sounds like half of college for me. At least in college you get like a metric fuck ton of books and materials and stuff you can read, you know, the information is there, you just gotta look for it. I really hope they manage to update this for other people that come after me, because like I said, 80% of the curriculum is so good. Everything you need is right there. Like 9 out of 10 times you don't even need to get a hint, because like everything is there if you just read carefully and take your time. Whereas with this, there's nothing to read. The get a hint has no information. It's just they might as well have told us to just go read about this somewhere else and then come back and just pass the test, you know. It's like basically these are like projects at this point. You're not learning here. But it's okay, we figured it out. Now we need to test our knowledge of double negation. So what do we know about double negation? False is false. Not false would be the opposite of false, I think. I need to double check. Let's console log it. So it would be true, wouldn't it? I wouldn't not false would cast it to a boolean of either true or false. I need a console log it just to make sure. So we know console.log not true would give us false, and double negation would give you the same in a truthy form. True is true, false is false. And a non-empty string is truthy, so convert it into a boolean of true or false, because double negation, basically the double bang operator, will only ever give you a true or false. It will basically convert the type from what I remember. And a string, a non-empty string, is true. So this would then be assert.isTrue. And then value truthy. A truthy object is not true, neither is false. A truthy object. Wait, what? Really? Console.log. What if I go and bang bang? Can I actually do that? Oh, it is true because it actually exists, but it's neither true nor false. What does that mean? If I do not, would be the opposite of that. It's confusing. I don't know, I got degrees in IT Sec, and somewhere near the second half there were no more books, just Microsoft TechNet and Google it. Yeah, but if you're literally just starting a new section that has not been explained anywhere, surely there's some kind of information they give you, no? In this case, having never done tests at all, and you start with no information. Truthy sounds like positive 0 versus negative 0. It exists but has no value. Really? I thought truthy values were just positives. Not 0 is false. Because you're coercing 0 to a boolean, and a 0 as a boolean is false. 1 is true. I know what happens with 2, because it's positive would be true, yeah. Negative 1 is also true. Interesting. Negative 0 is false, and 0 is false. The truthy object is not true. Neither is false. Oh, you're talking about what I'm trying to explain here. So it's neither true nor false. But doesn't this just sound like a weird way to explain this? Are they trying to say that a truthy object is neither true nor false? then why have it, you know, in parentheses? Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, that's probably what they mean, and they specified something here. So, is true, because true is true. Double negation is still going to be true. But an object, what did they say? They specified something. Is true and is not true. Everything else will pass. Is false and is not false also exist. Okay, the last part I'm just not quite sure on which the right one is. I mean, this should technically be true because it's got, you know, value in it. But a truthy object is not true, neither is false. Let me rephrase what they're trying to say. I assume a truthy object is neither true nor false. So... fail? Do we just fail it? Or do they mean just use is not true? Is not true. Because it's not false, but it's not true. So is not true. Oh god, at this point true does not look like a word to me anymore. I'm gonna go with that. Let's see how we do. Yeah, we actually did it. Cool. Use the double equals to assert equality. Why not triple equals? Equal, not equal. Equal compares objects using... Oh, that's probably where strictly equal comes from, because I think I remember seeing... Yeah, strict equal. I would never compare with equal though, I'd rather just do strict equal straight away. Kind of the opposite of Schrodinger's cat, right? There just needs to be a Schrodinger option right there. Oh man. Okay, so next one. 12, 12. Is 12, 12? That is a number, that is a string. Technically, because it's not strict equality, it will be true. So assert dot equal 1 and 1 object references that should be equal. 6 times 2, but no, it will coerce it. Yeah, that will be fine. It should be equal unless I'm missing something. It should coerce that into a number, so it will be 6 times 2 is 12. Wait, can you actually still do... Yeah, no, it should be fine. 6 plus 2 is 8. So this is not equal. Let's try that. Neither alive nor dead. You have inspired me, I've just signed it to free code camp. That's awesome. Well, you should have an easy time with the experience that you have. And like I said, like 80% of it is just so well done. The journey begins. Yay! I'm excited for you. Be sure to also sign up on Twitter and use the 100 Days of Code hashtag so you can also get support from the community. It's really awesome. Okay, so I failed on one of the assertions. Let's try and figure out which one. I have a feeling it might be this one, trying to do a calculation. Because in theory, it would be something like if 6 times 2 equal to 12. I haven't ever done it like this, but you should be able to do the calculation before the operator comparison. But if I had to guess, wait, it could actually be the object as well. The object might be tripping me up. value 1. Wait, why is there a space there but there's no space there? That shouldn't matter in spacing. Are they trying to trip me up? It should be an object. Value as 1. That shouldn't matter. It's literally just a spacing. So if I had to guess, I'd say it's this one that's failing. That's what I'm gonna have to go with. Could be wrong. I don't know, I've tried coding before. I've experience in very old line-by-line programming. Oh, is that like with Vim and everything as your editor? And tried object-based programming, but it just vexes me. It feels like having learned to play the guitar right-handed and now trying to learn it left-handed. Interesting. Doesn't it make it more... like, I don't know, like compared to doing things line by line versus having entire editors, shouldn't it be more simple? Like you have the understanding of how it works? Or does it just make it more complex because you have all these options? Nope. So it wasn't that one. So are you telling me that it's the object? It's not the object. Wait, so when the 3 are equal and the 1's not equal, so one of these are wrong. "12" would be 12. We can actually check. Simple way of doing this. Let's bring our console log out. Simple. And we'll see if it's true or false. See what JavaScript would render it as. So 12 equal to 12 as a string. That's true. So that is equal. Value 1 equal to value 1. Is it because it's an object? Okay. And then 6 times 2 equal to 12 would be true, which is fine, so that was right. This one should be false. Good. So true, true, not sure about the object, false for the last one. So true, true, false was right. No. True, true, false. So it's the object that I'm not sure of. Maybe you can't compare them, so it should be a fail. I mean, the languages I'd used aren't object-oriented, so the way you code is different. Planning subroutines and such, I understand the logic and far superior nature of objects, but defies my programming instinct, so I get frustrated. Right. So basically, you're used to far more complex things and you're dealing with something more dumbed down. From what I remember, pretty much every type of C language, you have to basically manage your own memory as well, like cleanups. Like there's so many things that you take for granted in JavaScript, and it's like they have to sort of do things manually. I can't imagine what that would be like. So I definitely want to get into another language, probably C#, and see what it's like. Because I'm pretty sure I'd get frustrated too. I mean, even things like strongly typed languages, that's why you have something like TypeScript. Because otherwise you could do things like this. Compare a 6, an integer, to a 6, a string. Okay, so maybe there should be assert.fail, because I can't seem to get that working in my console log either. Expected fail to equal passed. Wait, did you literally just give me the... No, but assert equal doesn't pass then. And if I set it to not equal... Glenn, hey! How are you? Haven't seen you in ages, how you been? Okay, how was that? Pretty sure we tested that. Weird. Okay, now we basically do the same thing, except with strict equal, where you don't get the magic of doing the things that we've been doing. So that should be simple enough. 6 and 6 will fail, so this will be not strict equal. 6, 3 times 2 is 6, that should be strict equal. 6 times, nope, that will be not strict equal. 1a, wait, this is an array. I mean, they look the same, unless this is one of those gotcha moments. They're identical. One array with another array, so I'm gonna go with strict equal. Apparently I got 2 wrong. Nice. Wait, was that a string? No, it's not a string. How can this be true? 6 times 2 equal to 12? It's true? What? Does it still coerce it to a number? Oh, because this is before the fact. So you already have a number. And if you're trying to multiply, it coerces a string, if it can, into a number. But if it couldn't, 6 times a equal to 6 would be false. Because it would be undefined if you were to add a to the 6. Actually, let's see what would happen. 6 times a. It's not a number, yeah. But 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, I learned something new today. I just assumed it would have not worked. But all it's comparing is the end result of a number, and you started with a number. Wait, so if I did 6 as a string times 2, does it still coerce them? Okay, so it does. So we'll always coerce a string to a number if it can. Tired, school is happening, and that's taken a lot of my time. What are you covering at school now? The multiplication makes 2, yeah, I saw it coerces it into a integer. What is 6 times a? Nothing. Undefined, it's not a number. Well, not undefined, it's not a number. Okay, so let me correct that then. That won't be a... Wait, but that being said, will it okay, in a mathematical equation, it will coerce numbers. But this should fail. 6 equal to 6 as a string. Yes, okay. So it's only prior to that if you're doing calculations, but before the operator, the equality operator. Okay, that's a fail, that's a pass. So this will be then a pass as well, strict equal. And okay, so why is this failing then? Can you not compare an array? It's not the same. They look identical. Oh, is it because it's not looking inside of the array or something? Well, I did hello world. Guess we're done for the day. First semester of freshman year of college. Nice. And what are you doing? Don't tell me it's also another CS degree. Everyone's doing CS degrees. I need to understand why you can't compare array. Why does that not work? Is it because of the values within the elements? Here we go. Why? That's my question. They are not equal because a new array is being created in each of these statements, each being a brand new array object with just identical contents. Oh, because these are references even if we aren't setting them to variables. They separate arrays. But what if we set A to B? Would that then be the same? You are doing CS. Are you enjoying it at least? I think it's sort of like symbol A equal to symbol A. Oh, and it's also not a primitive type, that makes sense, yeah. Arrays and objects on primitives. String, number, boolean. Okay, well then that explains that one. So then, not strictly equal for you. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. And now apparently, never mind. I'm just updating because I was just about to say, what? Okay, now this is something called a deep equal, which obviously they don't explain. Like, this is the issue that I have. It's just, we understand what equality is because we've dealt with it. We know, you know, the basic and the strict, but what the hell is a deep equality? I've never even heard of that before. Deep. Where do I see deep? Deep equal? What is deep? Asserts that that actual is deeply equal. There's a deeply equal? Oh, is that if you're looking inside of an object? Oh. So is this something built into Node, or? Okay, so primitives are compared by their values, but non-primitives are compared by their reference. And obviously if we have two different objects, they won't share the same reference unless we set them as a reference to each other. So that's why it failed. How do you do a deep equality? Object or get own property names. Okay. So I'm assuming deep equals is something in node then. Because I've never heard of that before. It's a package, maybe? Oh, it's part of node's assert? Deep equal? Okay. Cool. So, deep equal. A1, B5. B is 5, A is 1. Key orders don't matter, yeah, because objects are not the same as arrays with their index, so that should be true. Assert dot deep equal. And then A is a key with an array 5, 6. But array index orders do matter, so this would be a fail. Not deep equal. I'm pretty confident with that one. Cool. Compare the properties of two elements. Is above A greater than B, or is at most A is at most equal to greater than A, less than equal to... Okay, that's confusing. Is above. Let's see what is above is. There we go. Asserts value to check is strictly greater than value to be above. Oh. Is above 5 to... So is 5 greater than 2? Okay, that makes sense. So basically the first value is what you want to be above the second value. That is above. The other one is at most. What is at most? Is less than or equal to. Okay, so we read that as is less than or equal to 3, less than or equal to 6. Which would be true. Okay, cool, that makes sense. Hello.length is 3, 5. That's 5, yeah? Hello is 5 characters. And is at most. So we can use is at most 5. 1. I guess we'd have to use is above for this one. Wait, what is our requirement to use? Is above or is at most? Is that all we can use? And I guess is above for this? The pies? Yeah. This pi should be 3.14 of 3, so... is above, I guess then, because it can't be is at most. So this value has to be less than or equal to that value. Where is above is this value has to be above that value. So this is above. And then 1 minus math.random. What will that give us? Math.random will give us a value between 0 and... Won't that give us 0? Oh. It will give us something less than... This can never be above 1. So it can be is at most, surely. I would assume. Because it can't be above. Can it? Let me keep... You'll never be able to get 1 from what I remember, from all the times I've tried math.random, so it'll never go above. So I would assume that is at most. See what happens. Yeah, cool. The last one is trying to be cheeky. How so? How is it trying to be cheeky? Is there something that you could potentially think it would have been something else? Am I missing something? Because to me it was obvious you never get a 1. And so it would always be less than 1. Was someone supposed to be tricked into thinking you could have gotten more? I guess I've just played around with math.random way too many times. So is below is at least should work the same. Is at least. So it has to be a minimum. Greater than, equal to or greater than, yeah. And is below. So A has to be less than B. Okay, so world.length. World is 5. That would be is at least. And 2 times math.random. Let me think. What would that actually give us? You'd never quite... Because you always get 0. You get 0 something, 2 times 0. It will never be 2. Yeah, a number between 0 and 2, yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to think, and the condition is 0. So this has to be A less than B. Is A less than B? No. Is at least or higher. Is it greater than or equal to B? Yeah, it is. So is at least again. Unless I'm just like being tricked again. 5 modulo 2 would have a remainder of 1. So is below. And two divided by 3 would be 0.66, like keep carrying the 6's. So that should be less than 1. So that'll be is below again. See how that goes. Cool. Test if a value falls within a specific range. So approximately. Actual expected range message. Actual equal to expected plus minus the range. Oh, so you basically give it it falls between. Oh, when you're trying to be lenient. That's kind of decent, I guess. Choose the minimum range, third parameter, to make the test always pass. It should be less than 1. It should be less than 1. Okay. Weird numbers. I love that they call it that. Choose the minimum range, third parameter, 1 to this one. Edit this. To make the test always pass, it should be less than 1. So the actual number is 0.5. No, 0.5 is the expected. The range is 1. Wait, sorry. The actual is 0.5. But what does weird numbers do? So it gives you 0.5, so it's 1 plus... Wait, what? Really? So, if I'm reading this correctly, it will be 1 plus 0.5 minus math.random. So you would get a value that is between zero. It could be between 0.5 and 1.5. Could it? No? I think so. A value between 0.5 and 1.5? Okay, so that taken into account, we're not just going to get 0.5. But if they're constantly adding 1, what if I just add the same number that they're passing in? Can I just do that? 0.5 and 0.2. Is this just like a mind game? And it says choose the minimum range to make the test always pass. Which one is actually passing? What if I set that to 0.6? Does it still pass? Because I just want to make sure that it's not just a one-time thing. Okay, so that fails. Okay, so it seems 0.5 was right. For the first one, at least. Yeah. Unless I just got super lucky, but it seems 0.5 was fine. So why wouldn't 0.2 work? Let's see. 1 plus delta minus math.random. You're going to get 1 plus 0.2. What would that give us? 1 plus 0.2 minus math.random. So it could go as low as 0.2, but it would probably be able to go as high as 1.2. So 0.2 and 1.2. So as low as 0.2, as high as 1.2. Zero 0.2. So why doesn't 0.2 work then? It would give it the exact range. It doesn't make any sense. Because if I understand the formula correctly, 1 plus 0.2 minus math.random, a value between 0 and 1, this will give you a low of 0.2 and a high of 1.2. So you would have 1, which is the expected value. Oh, the actual could be 0.2. I just realized that now. It has to add up to that. Because if the minimum that you could ever get is 0.2, you're going to need to add that, which is 0.8, to get the expected 1 at the very least, which is the range. There you go. Test if a value is an array. Is array versus is not array. Okay, seems simple enough. These variables are used in the tests. Don't edit them. Okay. Is array is not array. Okay. Is this an array? Dot split. That gives you an array, doesn't it, of characters? So that should be is array. 123.index of 2 is not going to return an array, it returns a number. So that's is not array. And then we need include versus not include. Array include, not include. Winter months, July. What does include do? I don't understand. Let's go look. Include. Asserts that haystack includes needle. Can be used to assert the inclusion of a value in an array, a substring in a string, or a subset of properties in an object. So does the haystack include the needle? No, it doesn't. So assert dot not include. Backend languages, is JavaScript there? Yes, it is. So include. Test if a value is a string. Is string asserts that the actual value is a string. What the hell? That is, yeah, I'm not going to give you a string. Is not string. Process.env.path. That would have to be a string if it existed, but what if it doesn't exist? Env vars are strings or undefined? Yeah, exactly. It won't always be a string. Well, that's tricky. It either is or it isn't. How? That's confusing. In the event that it could possibly not be a string, do you just assert that? I'm actually stumped with this. I'm not sure what the expected result is supposed to be. Let's move on to JSON.stringify. JSON would be a string, yeah, so is string. But then what would this one be? env parse are string or undefined, but undefined is undefined. I guess let's go with is string, because that's what we expect it to be. That's the expectation. Yeah. I gotta keep remembering the assert is this is what you're expecting it to be. Include on not include works for strings too. It asserts that the actual string contains the expected substring. Arrow, row. Arrow contains row, yeah. So include. Is there dot in Q? No. So not include. There we go. Wait. That's the haystack, that's the needle. That's not include, so why are we failing? We should have passed. Expected fail to equal passed. Include on not include works for strings too. I'm confused now. Am I supposed to chain them? Is that what it's saying? Include on not include works for strings too. Or is that supposed to be an or, not an on? Wait, do you literally want me to say include? Because it's not passing. No, exactly. So if you don't want that, then accept not include. Because that is what it is. What? And now it works? That's literally what we had before, not include. Okay. Not gonna argue with this thing. Match asserts that the actual value matches a second argument regular expression. Okay. Regex. So name format people John Doe 35. That's a number. That's the name. That's the age. What are the requirements here? White spaces. Any word or white spaces. One or more. Age is white space, digits. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. This one will fail because it needs a number, but that's a number, that's not a number. So assert.match assert dot not match. Test if an object has a property. Property is hash property asserts that the actual object has a given property. Use hash property or you mean use property or not property where appropriate. Okay. So car has model, engines and wheels. Plane has model, engines and wheels and wings. Okay, so let's see. My car, does it have wings? I mean, that would be amazing. But unfortunately it doesn't, so not property. Airplane, airline plane, does it have engines? It does. So property. My car wheels, yes. So property. Test if a value is of a specific data structure type. Type of asserts that a value's type is the given string as determined by object.prototype.toString. Use type of or not type of where appropriate. My car is an object, so that should be type of. My car.model. Does it have a model? Yes, it does. Is a string? Yes, it is. So type of. Airplane.wings. Is it a string? No. It's a number. So not type of. Airplane.engines. Is it an array? Yes, it is. And finally, my car.wheels. Is it a number? It is. Test if an object is an instance of a constructor. Instance of asserts that an object is an instance of a constructor. Use instance of or instance or not instance of where appropriate. So my car is an instance of a plane? No, I don't think so. Airline plane is an instance of plane? Yes. Airline plane, instance of object. Everything is an object in JavaScript. My car.wheels is a string. No. There we go. Done. Now we need to apparently move on to the second functional test, JS. Cool, let's do that. Here we are. What do we have to do now? Replace assert.fail, test the status and the text.response, make the test pass. Don't send a name in the query. The endpoint with response, the endpoint will respond with hello guest. Okay. Mocha allows testing asynchronous operations. There is a small, big difference. Small or big? Is that the point? Can you spot it? Big? Pass a callback to the test function. Okay. Set timeout function. Assert is okay. So this is just an example of asynchronous request. Async test, done, call done when the async operation is completed. The function will be executed after 500 milliseconds. The tests having example in the description string are instructional examples and are not passed by our test analyzer. Okay, good to know. We can test our API input using a plugin called Chai HTTP. Okay, so that explains why we needed that. Let's see how it works, and remember API calls are asynchronous. So get hello name. We send a name string in the URL query string. Oh, that's so cool. Test example. Wait, but this is an example. This is not actually working. They said everything in the example doesn't work. Example, name John, function done. Don't forget the callback. Chai.request, the server is the express app. .get, end. Function error res, assert equal res.status 200, response status should be 200. Assert equal res.text should be hello John, response should be hello John. Done. Ready to have a try? I mean, sure, why not? Replace assert.fail to make the test pass. So it should be assert.equal. Wait. Hello with no name. It should be assert.not equal. Assert.equal res.text hello guest. That should be it. You should test for res.status 200. Oh wait, will it still respond valid? Even if okay, so we'll still respond valid even if you don't pass anything in. Okay. Send your name in the query appending name equal to the endpoint will respond with hello and the name. Okay. Put your name in the query. Dead mano. Replace assert.fail, make the test pass. So assert.equal res.status 200. Put your name here. So assert.equal res.text hello and my name. What? You should test for res.text equal to hello guest. What? I should test for hello guest, but they literally told us to put your name. That makes no sense. It should say that. Assert.equal. Where's the text? Nah, nah. Oh my god. In the next example, we'll see how to send data in a request payload body. We are going to put a put request. The / traveler's endpoint accepts a JSON object taking the structure surname, last name of a traveler of the past. The root responds with name, first name, surname, last name, dates, birth to death years. See the server code for more details. Send surname Colombo, replace assert.fail and make the test pass. Check for 1 status 2 type 3 body.name 4 body.surname. Okay, so this is an example. So what do you want me to do? You want me to send Colombo. So you want me to do .send surname Colombo, like so. They want status. What do they want? They want it was status type body.name body.surname. Assert dot equals res.status. It was literally just 200 before. And assert equals res.type. They want it to be the same as that. Might as well just copy their reason as well. And then res.body.name should be Colombo. No, it's the marker. This is Colombo. There we go. And then res.body.surname, because that's the last thing they want. If I remember correctly, yes. And what are we checking for? Wait, that's not the name. That's the surname. Good thing we copied that. The name is Christopher. There you go. Never forget the done callback. Nope, not forgetting it. King Code, what's up? Test time. How you been? Wait, am I supposed to do these as well? Am I supposed to do all of them at once? Am I? Or is there a third part? Which one is failing now? Oh my god, I'm doing equals instead of equal. There we go. This exercise is similar to the preceding. Look at it for details. Send surname da Verrazano. Replace assert.fail and make the test pass. Check for status type body.name body. Okay, so same as what we had. We should test against application JSON, Giovanni. Okay, cool. Same as the above. So it's chai.request the server dot put travelers they literally have it as one space or something? No, that was just nested. But I'm just gonna copy this because we would have typed it out the same either way. I want it to just look the same. Sending the surname of Verazano .end function, place your test inside the callback. Remove this after adding tests, and we're going to do assert.equal res.status 200. Just copy that. Pretty much going to be the same as this. So. Type will be the same. The first name will be... Did they specify the name outside of this? I don't think they did. Giovanni. The first name Giovanni. Daverazano. That should be it. We missed something? Test. Okay, chai.request server.put travelers.send.end. Wait, is it just being dumb again? Or is it actually doing this right now? Weird. It's still part of the same suite, is it? Yeah, it is. What are we missing? Either that or we broke something somewhere else. We are putting in travelers, so it's exactly the same as the previous one. Let's see if it's actually getting a request or if something's going through. jQuery deferred exception. Data.assertions is undefined. I don't know if that's something on our end or something on their end, because we did update. So there's a get. Status unavailable. Why? That's weird. Wait, let's go back to one of the third test. I just want to make sure that's still working at least. Okay, no, we broke something. Good to know. So what did we break? And we do call done, and we do call it in test. Because none of the tests... Oh, hold on. Is our site still up? Yeah, it is up. So Polo works fine, but if I add Giovanni, unknown, undefined, undefined, and am I spelling Columbus right? Oh, it's Colombo. Never mind. Yeah, Colombo works. So 2 of them work fine. Yet now we fail for this one. That's funny. Trying to see if I missed something, but it doesn't look like it. And if I comment this out and we try again, how is it possible that it works one time and another time it just doesn't work? And yet it works if we tried. This is crazy. We would not have been able to move from the first lesson to the next lesson if we didn't pass it, but now we're not passing it anymore. Data.assertions. Data.assertions. Where is it getting data from? From server, maybe? Assertion analyzer? Object parser, replacer, splitter, assertion analyzer. There should be data here somewhere. Is there data in here? There it is, data. That's for the replacer. Oh, there's data. Oh. So we had a case of Colombo, lowercase c. But I think that was taken care of. Yeah, that should have been taken care of. If it's done correctly with the whole... So the issue that we have apparently is... Let me just copy this in to try one more time. The issue is data.assertions is undefined. So data, this is data. And it's going to return res.json data. So request.body.surname, 2 lowercase. So if you came in with an uppercase Colombo, it would be lowercase Colombo now. Then it will match the case, and it will set data to name, surname, and dates. Can we log that we got here to see that it's actually working? We wouldn't see it there. We would see it in our console, but not in their console. And then if I can't find something, I'll hit unknown. If error, then it will return status unavailable. That's what we have right now. And let's see if we can get this log to populate. All we get is an error, which is assert that equals is not a function. On line 28. That's what the error is, apparently. Test request callback. But we shouldn't be touching that. Assert that. Wait, did I do it again? No, I didn't. It's equal. These are old errors. Let's clear out all these errors and try again. There's literally no error and no output. There's no nothing. It's almost like it's not even getting there. And yet it does. Status unavailable, which wasn't the case before. And the host is definitely up. So, here's what we can do. Where it returns unavailable, I want to know why. Oh, but we probably already know what the error is. It's gonna just complain about the data.assertions. It's just empty. Okay, this is so weird. I'm gonna shut down the server and start it up again. Maybe something went weird. Let's make sure there's no errors and no output, and then let's start the server up again, because it was literally working. So it makes no sense. Tests are not valid. Unexpected end of input. Oh, okay, so we're getting somewhere. Array for each. It's complaining about this. There's something with the closure that's wrong now, isn't there? Don't tell me that's the entire suite. Oh my god, there is. Okay, every suite that's functional tests. What suite is the zombie one? Okay, I think we're missing one of these. And the only way we're gonna know is, because it got so freaking complicated, is to get our dev dependencies here. So unfortunately, I am gonna have to work with linters now. Oh no, unfortunately, it's gonna help us. Let's just copy our dev dependencies over. Like so. And let us make sure we also copy across the relevant prettier files and linter files. There we are. And then let's close this and let's open it again. And then we should be able to actually see what the errors are now. Because it might have just been something that we're not noticing. I think it's closing bracket or something. What should actually work now? What should I go back here and it works? Okay, good. Doesn't, because I was about to be like, what the hell? Forgot to install the dev dependencies. npm install. I was wondering why nothing was happening. Cool. So then close that, open it again. There we go, unexpected token. And the reason for that is that should end there. Let me see how they actually at theirs. Can we see theirs? On number 2. Tests? Functional tests? Was there a multi-line? Where did these end? So what was this for? This was for... Oh, it was for the entire functional test. All of it. Okay. So we are basically missing a closure. Don't know how that's possible, but let's check. These seem to all be fine. This... Okay, that's not part of ours. This is not ours. This is where we added things. Okay, here we go. This suite. Okay, no, that's fine. That suite is fine. This function is fine. This is fine. That's fine. That's fine. So what is this? I think this ends a suite. No, that should in theory be fine. So what went wrong? What is this supposed to end? That's sweet. So we're missing one extra one that's supposed to wrap everything up. I don't know how that's possible, but we did. Like that. That should in theory be it now. Okay, how about now? Yes, you're happy. Great. Let's move on. Oh my god. In the next challenges, we are going to simulate the human interaction with a page using a device called Headless Browser. A headless browser is a web browser without a graphical user interface. These kind of tools are particularly useful for testing web pages as they are able to render and understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript the same way a browser would. For these challenges, we are using zombie.js. It's a lightweight browser which is totally based on JavaScript, without relying on additional binaries to be installed. This feature makes it usable in an environment such as Glitch. There are many other more powerful options. All tests should pass. Assert that headless browser request succeeded. Assert the text inside the element span name is Christopher. Okay. Okay, so essentially all we needed was this. I don't know how we managed to mess that up, but that was literally all we needed. Okay, so I'm going to move my ESLint for now. We're not going to need it. As well as prettier. The only thing that I needed was that. Let's just stop complaining now. Let me just go back and make sure it's still working. And the reason why I don't want to use ESLint because it's going to automatically correct everything. And I could disable that, but I'm rather just going to do it this way. Because otherwise it changes things that it shouldn't be changing. And then we run into issues. Cool. So browser.fill, so you're telling it fill a field that has the name surname with polar, then press a button, submit, then browser.assert success, browser.assert.text span name. Okay, that's inside of what we could see, right? Now it's your turn. Please don't use the keyword example in the title. Are you sure? So fill the form, browser, I'm just going to copy this, browser.fill, press button. I think that's actually where we ran into that issue when I did a copy like this. So we press the button, then fill it. That was this. That goes here. Okay, so fill the form, then submit it pressing the submit button. In the callback, assert the status is okay, 200. Okay, so browser.assert success. Assert that the text inside the element span name is Christopher. Okay, and the surname is Colombo. I feel like a savage not working with ESLint and prettier. Make up your mind. Okay, so it is the same. Oh my god. Can you just be okay, it's fine now. And that's fine now. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, okay, good. Manually formatting this freaking sucks. I love you, prettier. Okay, surname is Colombo and dates exist and their count is 1. Oh, I was busy with this. No wonder. Fill the form. Browser.fill. Surname was supposed to be Colombo. And submit it. Submit. Okay, I was wondering what the hell was going on here. Okay, so it should be something like this. Okay, we missed something again. That's for that one. That's for that one. So that completely... That's done. Then this one is supposed to be for that suite there. Cool. So that closes that suite. Then we have this one that closes that suite. Cool. Then we have this one that closes that suite. So then the final one closes everything. But we have the same issue as we had before. Okay, let's try this again. See what error we get. That's weird. We're not even getting a single error. Stop the server. Start it. And now it should run. There you go. So E2E testing. Wait, so 25 past 1 failed. Are you telling me this? We need the one that does Christopher Colombo. I'm willing to bet the issue once again is... Shows you. Let's figure it out quick. Bring this back. I'm going to ignore all of these. I'm going to ignore all the prettier ones. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, but it's just failing in general. Let's see if we still pass the previous test. It's the last time that I don't work with the linter. We're doing fine up until this complex part. Okay, so it still passes. So let's move from that. Go, submit and go to next challenge. Cool. It's this part that fails. So let us see what the issue is, what it's sending through in a network. All tests should pass. Assert that the text inside the element span name is Christopher. Is this the last one? In that case, am I supposed to be doing the final one? Let's see how far we are. It's the second from last one. Okay, so at least we know the at least we know the issue is in here. There's not the chai test, we've moved on from that. It's the headless one now that we're at. And that ends... Oh wait, these are all chai HTTP ones. Never mind. It was the first suite, right? So that's done. And the second suite is here. So that's it. That's done. We've done that. Then it's this one that we're working on now, the E2. So this is the example. Okay, let's just reopen this so I don't have to look at all that glaring red. Full surname Colombo, then press button, submit function, browser.assert, success, browser.assert, text, span, name. Let's see if there is a span that's called name on our front end. Yeah, it's name. So check that the name is Cristoforo, and if you put Colombo, oh wait, it's this one that it's checking. Span ID name Cristoforo. So that should be fine. But we're not passing that. Wait! What? Now we what? Okay. Don't tell me we passed this one now. Okay, yep. We passed it. It was right all along. Wait, that was previous ones. That wasn't this. Okay, good. We're back to where we were. So what is it getting in the network? The last one is the one we're working on right now, it should be. No, it should be the Christopher one. Then surname Colombo, context function, integration test with Chai, put traveler state passed. So it passed it. Rested state is 200. Response should be 200. Why is it getting multiple tests? That's the confusing part now. Let's reload this completely. I'm just gonna reload the browser. Because something weird is going on. Let's actually make sure it's working, because we did Columba. It shouldn't be on Vespucci yet, because that's the last one. So if we put in Columba, which, yeah. If I put in that, wait, it wasn't that one, yeah. It's just like literally the last two. Come on, you can do it. Data.assertions is undefined, I don't understand. If returning a promise ensured resolves. There's literally nothing in the error logs, and that's the worst case when we redo this. Like check, nothing. Nothing in the output, nothing in the error. It's as if it's not even running it. Only thing I could think of that is if course is not running. Could that be? Has to be something in the test then. When they do get tests, they use course. And it goes to get tests, yeah. Wait, is it something to do with the name? Because each one has test in it. That's part of the suit. They did say something about that. Oh, it was here. Please don't use a keyword example in the title. We don't. Test, submit, surname Columba. And we are calling done, yeah. So it can move on. And this is the final one. It's like literally these two tests that are causing us to fail right now. Why? Browser.full, surname Colombo. And the only thing I could think of, I saw something in server. Context.match unit test. Context.match functional test. Case functional case unit. No, it's not that. Man. Okay, we're gonna have to debug this. Assert that the text inside span is Colombo and then Christopher. What are we checking for? Colombo and Christopher. And we did fill it with Colombo. And if I fill it with Bob, do we get at least an error? Like something, anything. The response is... I want to see the headless ones, but we don't see those. For some reason. It's like triggering every other one. And according to this, I'm passing all of them. Less the one. Timeout of 2000 milliseconds exceeded. But we do call done. And this stuff won't matter yet either. Let me comment that all out and see what will happen now. I want to see what it does now. Will it actually complete? E2E testing with zombie.js. That's where it's erroring right now. So E2E is... Wait, what? That should be somewhere here. Yeah, testing with zombie.js. Okay. Before all, hook in E2E testing with zombie.js. Everywhere where we call it, we do call done. And we don't have assert.fail anyway. So it wouldn't be that that's causing the issue. Do we? Oh man, the most frustrating part is being told that there's an error and we can't even see it or debug it. And this is supposed to help us with tests. I need a debugger to help with the debug. Expected undefined to equal past. Why is it undefined? Data.assertions is undefined. Is it because of upgrading everything, I wonder? It's the only thing I could think of. We had this issue before, and the last time we had that was because we were missing like one of these things. We're missing one of those. Not that I think that would change anything, because it shouldn't, because that's exactly the same that it was. We have every case covered now. Here's the test. Browser.fill surname Colombo. Press button, submit function. It's a function. Browser.assert success. Browser.assert text span name Christopher Colombo. Span dates 1. So annoying. Why? Assert that the text inside the element span name is Christopher. That's literally everything that we're doing. And it's pretty much identical to this, the example. I wonder if these somehow got decoupled and there's an actual space here. Well, let me just double check we have everything. Browser.assert success. Yeah. There should literally be nothing else. So the only thing I could think of is then this being the issue. Nope. It's not that at all. You know what I just realized? Oh my god. Why did I not say that? I know it's right there, but did I actually say anything? No, it's in the code. Right here, on GoMix we'll use this setting, copy your project's URL here, that's why it didn't freaking work, cause the site. If you're testing on local memory play. So browser. That's why it wasn't working. Browser.localhost 127.0.0.1 process.env.port or 3000. This whole time it was just, it didn't know where to look. Ah. Finally. All tests should pass. All of them do except for... What is causing you to fail now? So what is your issue right now? Your issue is how you failed if everything passes. At least we're making progress, finally. Browser.assert success, browser.assert text, browser.assert text, browser.assert element, and then call done. Is it because of these things that I commented out? Probably. Let me see if it is that. No, it's just all tests should pass. None shall pass. Wait, are we down again? No, we're not down, we're fine. That's fine. Browser.fill, the press button is not a function. Okay. So why would that be the case? Is it because of this? Process.env.port, which should be the same port that we have. Okay, let's look at Zombie real quick. I want to make sure that localhost Oh, we're going to make requests to example.com, which will be routed to our test server localhost. Oh, so I misunderstood how browser.localhost works. Okay. So we just need to change this to 127.0.0.1. Can I specify the port? Or is that just sufficient? Because it was port 80. I need to do the port. Can we do something like this? .127.0.0.1 port is process. Come on. Process.env. It goes env.port, if I'm not mistaken. Or 3000. There we go. Running tests. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, it's not complaining about the one anymore. That's a good thing, I guess. So it was definitely a browser site that was an issue. So that's something I think we have to work on. I'm still not sure if we did it correctly. But we can also check log browser browser.site, because I want to know what the browser site is. Where's browser site? Wait, really? Nothing? I wonder. It's empty. How can it be empty if we assigned it to something? Oh no, there it is. 127.0.0.1 27211. Okay, so it is there, and if I go there, yeah, we get the site. Okay, what does FreeCodeCamp think about it now? So the assertion is fine, but the tests don't pass. Because browser.fill.press button is not a function. Fill apparently has been updated because we updated zombie. So we might have to do browser.fill and then browser. Oh man, what have we done to ourselves? So apparently we're gonna have to do browser.fill, that's the example. So browser.fill and then browser.press button. So like that. And then browser.press button. But if it returns a promise, then we... Oh my god. Okay, let's see if this changes anything at all. It did. It worked. That was why. The new update to zombie and everything, because we wanted to update the latest packages, so that's on us. So all you have to do is split it to browser.fill and then browser.press button. Final one. Jeez. Okay, same as above. Fill the form with Vespucci. And then we need to press the button, which is the function. Okay, so inside of that we need to assert success. Then inside of that we need to check for Amerigo. And then inside of that Vespucci. And then just make sure that the count is there. Like so. Remove assert.fail and then call done. And we can hopefully be done with this right now. Oh, wow. Wow. That was something. That was definitely something. Obviously it's harder to follow a tutorial that's 3 years old, and I would like to be using the latest stuff, even if that means having to solve an issue like this. So apparently the whole issue came down to fill returning a promise now, whereas before, at least when FreeCodeCamp was doing this, it didn't. So you could chain them. Browser.fill.press button. Now you have to fill it first, and then you can press the button. Wow, okay. So that's that essentially. I think we can probably remove our dev dependencies now as well. And I think if we do npm, oops, if I do npm update, it should remove a whole bunch of other stuff. Let me just confirm. No. If we do npm install, will that correct all the extra ones? Yes. So just npm install. There we go. So now we removed all those dev dependencies that we didn't need, that I added erroneously. And let us test one last time, just in case I broke something now. That everything is still good on the final test. Don't want to walk away and we thought we did it, but it was broken. Nope, it's working. Check the log, no issues, errors, no issues, everything is good. We're done. Close all of these. Close the folder. Man, that was a mess. I definitely want to use Chai and Mocha, but yeah, I think it'll be way more simple, especially with the project we've been working on. So, next up, tomorrow we'll be covering Advanced Node and Express. Doing things like templates, user authentication, which we've already done in our own personal project, but that will still be fun to cover again. Putting a profile together. This may actually give me the incentive to get my own profile stuff sorted. Social authentication, cool. And/or disconnect. Announce new users, send and display chat messages. Oh, this is going to be fun. Definitely looking forward to this, but we'll be continuing this tomorrow. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'll see you guys then.